everyone. Before I start today's explanation, let me introduce myself first. My name is Maria Magdalena, and today I will do the explanation for the Principle 2 of Economics. So, the topic that I will explain is from the Principle of Economics by N. Gregory Mankiw. So here we have the picture of the books that we will use as references. So, this book is called Principle of Economics. Principle of Economics is an introductory economics textbook by the Harvard economics professor N. Gregory Mankiw. It was first published in 1997 and has 9 editions as of 2020. And for your information, Principle of Economics is the standard textbook for the American Economics Department introductory classes. And the current publisher claims it is the most popular economics textbook. So the word economy comes from the Greek word oikonomos, which means one who manages a household. At first, this origin might seem peculiar, but in the fact, household and economies have much in common. So, in a reality, a household faces so many decisions. It must decide which household member do which task and what each member receives in return, like who cooks the dinner and who does the laundry, who gets the extra dessert at dinner, who gets to drive the car. In short, a household must allocate its scarce resources like time, dessert, car, etc. among its various members, taking into account its members' abilities, effort, and desires. Like a household, a society faces so many decisions too. It must find some way to decide what jobs will be done and who will do them. It needs some people to grow food, other people to make clothing, and still others to design the computer software. Each society has allocated people as well as land, building, and machinery to various jobs. It must also allocate the goods and services they produce. It must decide who will eat caviar and who will eat the potatoes. It must decide who will drive a Tesla and who will take the bus. The management of society's resources is important because resources are scarce. And then scarcity. Scarcity means that society has limited resources and therefore cannot produce all the goods and services people wish to have. Just as each member of a household cannot get everything she wants, each individual in society cannot attain the highest standard of living to which she might aspire. Then we have economics. Economics is the study of how society manages its scarce resources. In most societies, resources are allocated not by an all-powerful dictator, but through the combined choices of millions of households and firms. Economists therefore study how people make decisions, how much they work, what they buy and how much they save, and how they invest their savings. Economists also study how people interact with another. For instance, they examine how the multitude of buyers and sellers of a good together determine at the price at which the good is sold and the quantity that is sold. Finally, Economists analyze the forces and trends that affect the economy as a whole, including the growth in average income, the fraction of the population that cannot find work, and the rate at which prices are rising. So, in today's explanation, we will look at the 10 principles of economics, especially the second principle of economics by Gregory Mankiewicz. So the principle of economics is people first trade-off. The cost of something is what you give up to get it, and then the rational people think at the margin. People respond to incentive. Trade can make everyone better off, and the market are usually a good way to organize economic activity. And then government can sometimes improve the economic outcomes. The standard of living depends on a country's production. The price rises when the government prints too much money, and then the last one is society faces a short-run trade-off between inflation and unemployment. And then we will move to the main explanation. Principle number 2, the cost of something is what you give up to get it. Because people face trade-offs, making decisions requires comparing the cost and benefit of alternative courses of action. In many cases, however, the cost of an action is not as obvious as it might first appear. Consider the decision to go to college. The main benefits are intellectual enrichment and a lifetime of better job opportunities. But what are the costs? To answer the question, we might be tempted to add up the money that we spend on tuition, book, room, and board. Yet this total does not truly represent what we give up to spend a year in college. There are two problems with this calculation. First, it includes something that are not really cost of going to the college. Even if you quit school, you need a place to sleep and food to eat. Room and board are costs of going to college only to the extent that they are more expensive at college than elsewhere. Second, this calculation ignores the largest cost of going to the college. That is time. When we spend a year listening to the lectures, reading textbook, and writing paper, we cannot spend that time working at our dream job. For most students, the earning they give up to attend school are the single largest cost of their education. And an opportunity cost. The opportunity cost of an item is what you give up to get that item. When making any decision, the decision maker should be aware of the opportunity cost that accompany each possible action. In fact, there usually are. College athletes who can earn millions if they drop out of school and play professional sports are well aware that their opportunity cost of attending college is very high. It is not surprising that they often decide that the benefit of a college education is not worth the cost. And finally, before I close this explanation, I want to give one more example related to the second principle of economics. Here we can see the 7 young men who are already familiar to many people. Yes, they are BTS. BTS is a Korean boy band consisting of 7 members who have won a lot of awards for their influence in the music world. Many times topped the Billboard chart and is often appointed as an icon of various youth interest and talent development programs. In 2018, BTS had planned to disband. In previous years, they were often hit by the negative issues that threatened the survival of their group. But due to a number of considerations, they finally continued their career to this day. And now, they are also one of the most influential artists in the world. They even got the title of State Asset of South Korea because of the impact that they have. On September 20, BTS was even given the opportunity to share a message of hope from the eyes of young people in getting through the COVID-19 pandemic. They discussed the topic at the Sustainable Development Goals moment at 76 UN General Assembly. Even 2018 they just disbanded. It is currently impossible for them to attend the UN session as representative of South Korea as a speaker. Therefore, the message that can be taken is that we must pay attention to all the possibilities and opportunity costs that will arise for each decision. And also to my friends, you guys out of there, we all also have a talent. As the younger generation, we must be sure to be able to determine for ourselves to the best choices and goals in our lives. And the last, I want to say thank you for all of you guys, the audience that watched this video. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you guys always healthy, stay safe, and have a good day. Thank you.